Hey, I'm Isaac O'Bannon. I'm managing editor of Sri. I'm not Sri Paul. We'll keep going though. Hey, I'm Isaac O'Bannon. I'm managing editor of CPA Practice Advisor. I'm here with Caleb Jenkins. He's an EA and a CQP, Certified QuickBooks Professional. And we're here at the day before AICPA Engage at CPA Practice Advisor's exclusive thought leader think tank. And we were just talking about the equities of private equity. And of course, that's an issue that has a great divide. And uh, not talking about percentages of payouts and stuff like that. You did mention, I think, at one point um, that and it's not just with PE, it's also with larger corporate entities. That sometimes they start things that they don't finish, and I think that connected a dot to me with PE, especially as it's coinciding almost identically in time with the emergence of AI, agentic AI, and other machine learning. Did these money bros, which is what a lot of the PE people are, they're not accountants, they're professional investors. Um, did they think that they would get in and be able to suddenly extremely monetize these industries that everybody said was going to be automatically wiped out personnel wise, and then suddenly maximize efficiency because they got rid of staff and one other part, and then the result of that, unfortunately, is going to be crap products, which is going to devaluize the company and then also create ill will or poor relationships because you're not going to have client relationships if it's an AI chatbot talking to the clients. So, do you think there's a correlation between that and how that might affect these issues?
I think there's definitely an issue or a correlation, but the challenge with it is that the item that you were mentioning about that we were talking about earlier is MVP is an acronym, so minimally viable product, and a lot of companies are using that terminology. They are rolling out a product that is 40% or 50% of the way to completion, and it looks like a really great product. It's something that has a ton of potential,
but it's not even really ready for beta.
But it's not. I would say it's a pre-alpha product, and so. But then they push it out to the public, and they do the testing in the public, which I have not. I don't have a specific problem with that. What I have a problem with is they then want to go after the shiny product, which is the next sexy thing that they can kick out to the product or to the public, and then they forget about bringing that to fruition or completion. And so you have a product that issues a new update, and then it's part of the way there, and then they forget about it, and then they deprecate that product later on, which a lot of those things had a ton of potential. The relation of PE in that, I would say there's a little bit of conjecture here because it's too early to say. But there could be things that they test with public relations, with their client relationships, that they kick out there as an MVP item. They test it, and then they forget about it. Or the worst is when they leave it in the product. When they leave it in the relationship, but they don't actually kill it. If they kill it, okay, forget it. Who cares? Because it's not part of the product anymore. But if they leave it in the product and it's a half-baked item, it's actually detrimental. And so the issue to PE, one of the things that's so far what we've seen is they're using the old business or the old model of accounting. So I'm not sure necessarily what the future of that is because they're not actually doing MVP yet in accounting firms. I think there's potential there, and it could be a good thing, but they need to. What my fear would be is that they don't take the MVP to fruition. Okay. And so with AI and agentic AI and all that stuff, I think there's tremendous opportunities there. The problem I have with that as well is do they kill the relational side of it? In our business, it is a very relational type of a business. So we'll have to see what the future of it holds.
Okay. Well, thanks for helping me out here. Explain some of it. A lot of it is pretty. interrelated, and it can affect client relationships ultimately, as well as business
Absolutely.
productivity. Thanks again.